Go.
You hear the music. Welcome everybody to what is known as the minor leagues of fantasy football, the TDFL 2012 Fantasy Draft Lottery. I'm your host, Brian Rosenthal, for the second straight year. A lot of great stuff ahead tonight, but let's start off quickly. Let's get down to business. The biggest signing in the history of the TDFL returns. We all know Tony is a hard worker. We all know the effort he puts into things, but what he did was remarkable. He got Steve Ross back in the TDFL. The fans are going nuts. The Hoosier State's going insane. We welcome back the Rodney Dangerfield back to the TDFL. He's a two-time champion, and he's ready to go. Guys, it's real simple. I'm going to be drafting out of this hat. You're going to be getting random picks here, but there's nothing fixed. I can promise you that. Before we begin, let's welcome our official corporate sponsor. What would you do for a Klondike bar, one of the favorite desserts that you can find here at the beautiful Blaine Harrison Stadium Casino? Steve Ross, we're going with him first. He is the return of like a Bill Parcells, according to the media. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana. Boiler up. Let's see what pick he's going to get right now. Here we go. Steve Ross, odds-on favorite to win the TDFL, in my opinion. He's picking 12 overall. So obviously, Steve Ross has a lot to think about with the 12th overall pick. We got next Dan Tichy, leaving Northern Virginia, heading south to Richmond. New stadium, new fans. Don't like Dan Tichy as a football coach. He's not going to be prepared. He's got a lot of things going on with that 85 South drive. Don't expect Artie's Army to do anything from his horrible 4-9 performance last year. Dan, it's your last year, in my opinion, unless you do something remarkable here. You will be fired. Dan Tichy, first overall pick. So we go from 12 to 1 right away. I have people coming in saying Dan Tichy is flying to Houston, Texas tonight in his private jet. So, Dan Tichy, first overall pick. We go to the defending champion, Nedskins, perennial winner. Okay, this is one of the only guys in the TDFL that I can say he's a phenomenal football coach. You can trust he's going to make the playoffs. I don't see anything else but a playoff appearance for Nedskins. Here we go. Nedskins is going to get the 8th overall pick. It's not a good spot to be in. I don't think Nedskins should be very happy with 8. You got CJ2K, Run DMC, a lot of question marks at number 8. Maybe even Tom Brady or Scam Noonan. Next is Solon, the Big Blue Wrecking Crew, a horrible performance last year, and he will continue to do poorly. He's not even going to be able to draft. He was going to hire me to draft him, but the money wasn't right. Solon's a bum. He had a terrible performance last year. I do not see any improvement for this jabroni. So, from Vermont, Solon gets 9 overall. He's not going to be happy. Solon, this is a side note, number 10 in the Kuiper League this year on the board. 9 in TDFL. This is going to be a disaster year for Solon. Mark DePietro up next, live from the Lake Norman area of North Carolina. Mark DePietro is a bad football coach. I'm going to go plain and simple. You know why he's a bad football coach? Because he likes the sport football. F-U-T-B-O-L. Soccer blows, Mark. Get over the soccer game. Get your head in the football game. Get your head into fantasy because you're going nowhere fast. Mark DePietro out of NC State selects 3 overall, but he's in the best position, number 3. That's where you want to be when you're a bad coach. Dave Duncan up next, out of Maryland, living in the Virginia area. I would say he's overall a pretty bad coach. But, you know, Dave Duncan could show some signs. He's a smart guy. He knows his football. He played offensive line. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dave Duncan's my sleeper. I got him finishing about top 4 this year. He's got to get back to fundamentals, though. Let's see. Dave Duncan is going to get... He needs a good pick here. 6. Excuse me, I went backward. It is 6. It's number 6 overall. He's picking where I'm picking in the Kuiper League. Not so great. Jasper's from New York City. I believe he's from New York City. 6 and 7 last year. He was a rookie last year. He got his feet wet. That's not bad. I like Jasper's here again to finish in that 7 and 6, 6 and 7. Possibly a wild card for him. He's 10 overall, and that's just not a good spot to be in my opinion. So Jasper's, you're going nowhere fast. One of my favorite players in the TDFL, Andrew Smith from or a fan of the U. Love Andrew Smith last year. He had a great season last year. I said he was going to be good last year. I'm going to say he's going to be good this year. He is the guy to win it this year. Mark it down. He's going to win it all. And he gets the number 7 overall pick. I don't like that spot for you, Andrew Smith. Mark McCluskey, he is the 2010 champion. Last year, 6-7, not so good, but he's a perennial loser in fantasy football. So, lucky in 2010, not so good last year, not so good this year. Here we go. Mark McCluskey gets number 2 overall, so I think he's going to go Ray Rice, and that's a good spot to be. All right, Paul Burkhead, an original from the TDFL. He's been around for the last 15 to 20 years. Steady guy. Not impressed with what he did a couple years ago, but 10-5 last year. I think he's going to be in the playoffs. I got playoffs all over here for the Mad Hatter. He's number 4 overall. That's a great pick. You could get Aaron Rodgers at 4. You can get Shady McCoy at 4. You could even get Megatron at 4. I like that pick. Got some newcomers here. Brian Tickle My Pickle, which is, I guess you can almost relate back to Sandusky. I think he hired Sandusky as his offensive coordinator 2 years ago, but defensive coordinator 2 years ago, but I'm not going to speculate on that. He's going to be teamed up with Tom Herndon, if I can say that right. El Guapo, which in my opinion is a little bit on the racist side towards Mexican, which I had for dinner tonight. All right, they get the 5th overall pick, which I think is a decent spot to be in, not so great. Last but not least, G-Man, a playoff appearance last year. He snuck in. He's TS. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He's not a good football coach. He's not a good manager. He's not going to study. He's going to sleep. And I don't expect anything from TS, but that's okay. He is the 11th overall pick. And again,
unbelievable.
TS picks 11 in this league, 12 in the Kuiper League. Going nowhere fast. All right, here we go. I'm going to review this real quickly. Dan Tichy, number 1 overall pick. That's good for Dan. McCluskey 2. DePietro 3. A lot of bad coaches picking early. That's interesting. Paul Burkhead 4. 5 is going to be the Tickle-Herndon combination at 5. Duncan 6. 7 is Andrew Smith. Ned Nice is 8. Not a good spot. Solon 9. Not a good spot. 10 is Jaspers. 11, I'm Giuseppe Franco, also known as G-Men in this league. And Steve Ross, the Bill Parcells of TDFL, the guy that everybody is dying to see coach again, last overall pick. We want to thank Klondike so much for their efforts. I'll tell you, when you're hungry and you need something quick and you need a good dessert with only 180 calories, 40 from fat, you got to go with the Klondike Bar. Thank you, the beautiful hospitality from the Blaine Harrison Estate. And I want to thank Monday Night Football on ABC Sports. We'll see you Saturday, August 25, TDFL Draft.